The powers that be, the powers that be, the powers that be, the powers that be, the powers that be. You better run! Run! You better run on home! You better run! You better run! Run! You better run on home!
Now, I'm not going to be politically correct or diplomatic right now. I'm going to speak the truth to you today as though today were my last day on earth, without regard to any political future and without trying to make everyone like me. I have so much respect for all of you and high hopes for our Republican brand that I would insult you and betray myself if I gave you anything less than straight talk. Since January 2013, the Clark County Republican Party has been a true bottom-up organization. In Clark County, the PCOs have a voice. It's not always comfortable, and it's not always fun, but we do have a voice in Clark County. And when people in the state party say that your chairman shouldn't even have let certain discussions take place, I ask you, how do you prevent that? Do you codify it in your bylaws that the PCOs can't speak? Do you put an establishment mentality jackboot to their throats? They suggest that troublesome PCOs should be gotten rid of. How do you do that when their position is protected by statute? I guess they want us to harass them, intimidate them into resigning. There's people within our party who absolutely do not believe in a bottom-up organization, with members who are empowered to speak their mind. There are people who believe good leadership means being willing to duct tape people's mouths shut by whatever means are necessary. There's people in the party who say you should not even dare criticize the vote of a Republican simply because they are a Republican. Yet these same people organize into official groups like the mainstream Republicans and actually raise funds to go after conservatives who are in districts which are perfectly safe. They tell you that they're only moderate because that's what's required to win elections. Well, if that were true, why are they spending massive amounts of money to take out conservatives in perfectly safe districts? The reason is they're liberals. If they were not, they would leave our safe district conservatives alone and focus on battleground districts. But they don't. In Washington State, the mainstream Republican organization goes after representatives like Matt Shea, Clint Didier, and others. Nationally, liberal Republicans go after conservative representatives like Justin Amash and many others. The organization known as mainstream Republicans and their puppet masters like Slade Gordon are well established in Washington and in our Washington State party. They're right now making plans to come after our conservative leaders in Olympia, and they're coming after people like you, conservative precinct committee officers who create conservative leadership in counties like Clark, Cowlitz, Klickitat, Skamania, and others. Please, please stop calling them rhinos. That's just looked at as like a pejorative insult. Call them what they are. They're liberals who have decided to disingenuously use the Republican brand as a specific and definite strategy to defeat conservatives. And don't be deceived, they've got people planted everywhere. People who will not be bothered by trying to fight for the supremacy of their ideas, but instead are perfectly willing to use deceit, lies, slander, and treachery to manipulate other well-meaning people like us into helping them achieve their goals. They did it in 2012, they're doing it today, right now, and they will do it in 2016 if you give them 1 inch of ground. They'll sow seeds of confusion and chaos as an intentionally devised strategy and even be proud of doing so. They cry out of one side of their mouth that they don't want bad press in the Columbian. Then they leak our internal party emails to them and invite them to our Central Committee meeting. They scream that we dare not criticize even one treacherous vote of a politician abusing our brand. Then they overtly and covertly try to destroy conservatives in districts which are perfectly safe for conservative Republicans. The battle is on. Many have been sacrificing their time and treasure in the belief that there are at the local, that at least here at the local level, we can make a difference. I'm beseeching you, my brothers and sisters in arms. Now is the time to draw strength from each other, build up each other's faith and each other's willingness to fight. Will you let the legacy of your legacy be the loss of our Constitution, the loss of our liberty, the loss of our exceptional American Republic, or will you rise now to fight, even just for the next 2 years, and prove to the liberals of every stripe or party affiliation that we will not cower, we will not retreat, we will not let liberty die to the sound of thunderous applause, but in their nefarious efforts will be met with passion, righteous indignation, and a fight to the death.
mistakes.
How does it feel?
They like fear and loathing.